the Chase Thomas Podcast. For people who have nothing but time to kill.
Or the Nalgene bottle. You must stay hydrated. It's critical.
Yeah, you got to stay hydrated. Goodness, we're washed. We're absolutely both just absolutely washed here, Russell Smith. But Russell, as you can see, this is a very free-flowing conversation here on the podcast, and I wanted to kind of pick your brain on some Tennessee football stuff. This is something I led the show with today, Russell, that I'm curious from where you stand on this, because I think I have two schools of thought on this one. One is when it comes to the lack of buzz around Tennessee football here for 2025 here on June 12th. I've thought about that a little bit this summer of, hey, we're not really talking about it, and football is back in 2.5 months. And I have a lot of Georgia fans back home who are just chomping at the bit. Like they're ready to go. They're so fired up about the year. Bama fans are fired up. You can see online, like certain fan bases are really, really revving up right now for the year. And it doesn't feel like Tennessee fans, I think by and large, are as rowdy and excited and as confident as they've been in years past. Because even though 2023 did not go the way I think a lot of us had hoped preseason, Joe Milton, third year in the system, there was a lot of, remember Milton and Keaton and Times Square together, there was a lot of optimism where it's like, oh, Bazooka Joe, like Heisman candidate potential. Let's see here. Like there was a lot of optimism about what the offense was going to look like before the season in 23. This year, I just feel like there's just so much unknown with this team to a lot of people that I just kind of wonder if fans are overthinking it. But then the other part of it to me is like, I just wonder if it's just Tennessee baseball is so big here now that fans have just been so locked in on Vols baseball every day. And before that, Rick Barnes basketball. And I mean, the Nate Ament sweepstakes and where the basketball team is right now, that it's not just a football only school anymore. That's not what drives the ship like it did 10 to 15 years ago. And I wonder if it's that, or it's just, what if Nico is around? Do we have a lot more buzz right now if Nico is still in the boat and we're talking more about Tennessee football? More people are more excited about where things are headed in mid-June. I don't know. What say you?
I think all those things contribute to a seeming lack of I don't want to even say interest, man. When we get to August, people are going to talk themselves into it. We're going to get excited about football. I think it's a lot of the things you just said. We're coming off baseball. We didn't win it all. Remember last year, like for what I do, like we rode that wave of winning the national championship for over a month, maybe 6 weeks. We rode it right into football season. There was no off season. It was great from a sports radio standpoint. So you didn't win it this year. People kind of like, I don't want to say it's disappointing, but it was kind of a disappointing end to the season for baseball. And I think folks are just, it's been a long year, man. It was a long football season that was very successful and culminated in a bad loss in the playoff. It was a long basketball season that was a really good season, but culminated in a disappointing loss in the Elite Eight. And it was a long baseball season that was really good, but culminated in a bad loss, not very competitive against Arkansas down there. So I think fans need a break, man. I think we all just need a break. But I think people are going to come back to the football program. I definitely think the Nico thing left a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouths. I think that's going to be tough for some people to get over. And then the other thing, I think that, Josh Heupel is just not a big promoter of his program. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. Even when he does, he's not good for a juicy quote or anything like that. So, I mean, look, like the ticket sales are high. We're going to be sold out and all that stuff. I don't know. Like if you're Danny White, do you encourage Josh Heupel to maybe get out there and promote the program a little bit? Do you need to do that as long as the tickets are sold and we're all going to tune in on game day and watch on TV? Does it even matter? I'm not sure, but I do think that fans will be back. I just think that they're taking a little break right now. They're taking a little break, but you know what? Those magazines are on the stands right now. We're going down to SEC Media Days here in a couple of weeks. It'll ramp back up.
Yeah, I think it will. And I think Heupel doing the circuit will help. I do think to your point, I think there was exhaustion. And I think the Nico stuff, you had that rallying cry for the spring game and the orange and white game. And then it was like, okay, football can go away for a while. That's too much excitement. I think fans were like, that's enough. Like, I need to step back here. Like that's enough. I've had too much excitement here for a while. Let me recalibrate. Now, I will say, fans are, in my opinion, way too low on Tennessee fans, I think right now, or on Tennessee football right now. And I think part of that, as my dog is just very much agreeing with me as she's scraping the ground floor here below to make a spot to sit down. Can you hear that, Russell?
A little bit, yeah.
That's incredible. Just great stuff. She thinks she's digging all
something. That's okay.
Fantastic stuff. We're leaving all this in. That's what a great part of a podcast is. It's just this dog's lost her mind. Shout out to Khaleesi the dog. So, Russell, I just look at it in terms of this is incredible stuff. All right, Khaleesi. Good God. Okay, we're keeping it moving.
Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Yes, big Game of Thrones fan.
Oh, all right. You fit in at FANRUN Radio so well.
I'm glad we're all on the same page. Have you watched Shogun, by the way?
No.
Shogun is like the Japanese version of Game of Thrones on Hulu. My wife and I are midway through season 1. There's only one season. It's like 10 episodes. It's an hour apiece. Okay. Russell, if you love Game of Thrones, Shogun is the next best thing while you're waiting on House of Dragon. It's so good.
Gratuitous sex and violence that we all crave.
The violence part of it is definitely there. There's both. Like I don't want to spoil anything, but if you like Game of Thrones, then you will like Shogun.
All right, I'm putting it on the list. Shogun sounds
good. It's so good. Which naturally brings us back. But yes, Khaleesi the dog, named after after Daenerys, obviously. So very Targaryen like, and if you saw her, you'd like, yeah, that checks out. Mascot of the Chase Thomas podcast. But Russell, bringing it all the way back here on this program.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Tennessee football and why folks were discounting this team. I am bullish on Tennessee. I don't know if you're the same way right now. And it's not even bullish because I believe in the quarterback spot right now. I'm a big Jake Merklinger guy. I'm not a Joey Aguilar guy. I don't think Joey Aguilar is going to be the starter long term for Tennessee. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my belief is like after the Georgia game, that's probably where the transition happens, is where it's like, oh, this is not going well. I don't think Joey Aguilar will be cute. Like if that happens in the December window, Nico departs in December and all, or January, if that all happens, then Joey Aguilar is not one of the first 5 calls, first 10 calls, first 20 calls. In my estimation, the interceptions scare me. Led FBS last year. That was one of the things that people miss is like that was supposed to be a preseason G5 representative in the college football playoff last year. That was a good team that was returning a lot of talent, and it got a coach fired. Like that offense and everything falling apart for App State got Sean Clark fired. So there's a lot that's been overlooked in terms of how last year went from, and especially 23 to 24 for Joey Aguilar. So I'm just not really a believer. It's nothing against the kid personally. It's just I don't think it's a good fit for Tennessee, and I don't think he has the skill set that's going to, especially within 2.5 months, is going to be able to get on the same page and run the kind of offense that Heupel and company are going to want to run. And he's just behind. Like Jake Merklinger's been in the system for 1.5 years. I think he's more of a natural leader. Like talking to Rusty Manziel on 3 last week on our show, he's bullish on him. Super competitive kid, good leader. He's throwing with Mike and Braylon and Travis in May, taking time to like really mesh with these guys. I would not be surprised. He threw a bunch of balls his junior and senior year at Calvary Day in Savannah. I'm still very bullish on Jake Merklinger, and I think he's going to end up starting the most amount of games for Tennessee this year. But I think Heupel deserves credit for how quarterback proof his tenure at Tennessee has been. Is you've had below average quarterback play the last 2 years. You won 19 games. You won 30 games in the last 3 years. And if the 12-team playoff existed in 22, you have 2 playoff appearances in 4 years. Like you're going every other year. And half of those years, it's not even good quarterback play. The passing game has been pretty substandard by and large. The defense is going to be really good again. Tim Banks, who I want to pick your brain on here in a second, just keeps hiring big time guys and just keeping like he's just, another veteran, another great veteran. Let's just bring him in. Let's just have the most stacked defensive staff in all of the SEC. It's just great stuff from Coach Banks. I just think people are overthinking this group. I think Tennessee has a very high floor I think the defense is going to be really good again. I think the offensive line is going to be just fine. I think they're going to be able to run the ball just fine. I mean, I think the tight ends, most talented you've had, the tight end room in the Heupel era to this point, they can stay healthy with Davis and Kitzelman. That combination should be really good. I mean, if you're able to get the 2021 production from Staley, Matthews, and Brazel that you got from when you only played 3 guys with Felix Jones, Cedric Tillman, and Javonte Payton 21, and they are all able to stay healthy, you're fine at receiver too. I mean, you're an injury away from playing true freshmen a whole lot of snaps, but there is a case and there is a scenario where they don't get banged up as young guys and they're okay for the full year. So I just think people are overthinking it. Like, I don't know about you, but I just think there should be more upside and more optimism about Tennessee. Like FPI, the numbers love them. Like they're a top 10 FPI team. Like I think fans are really overthinking the Nico departure and where things stand with Tennessee football.
I agree with your overall assessment that the fan base is a little bit too pessimistic right now about the upcoming season. I'm shocked to find out. I did not know your position on Merklinger and Aguilar. You and Bear, my producer, are singing from the same songbook. He's Team Merck as well. I don't have a preference. I just fan. I want the guy who is going to run the offense the best and score the most points and win the most games. My gut feeling is that's Aguilar because like we brought him in, and like I don't think he would come here to ride the bench. I like what I hear about Merklinger. I love what I hear about McIntyre. I think we've got some talent in that room, and I think that it probably will end up, regardless of who the quarterback is, end up looking a lot like it did last year. And that's weird, right? Because last year was a good year. We went 10-2. We went to the college football playoff, man. Like I would, if you could lock in that right now with another quote unquote lackluster offense and a top 10 defense that goes 10-2, sign me up, man. I'm taking it right now. I think there's a portion of our fan base that just wants to see the fireworks. I get it. I want to see that offense humming like a well-oiled machine going up and down the field again. But man, when you look at the pieces available, I agree with you. I think the front 7 is going to be the strength of this defense. And then if McCoy is able to come back at full strength, secondary shouldn't be a weak link by any stretch of the imagination. So I think, a top 10 defense last year, if we get another one of those, you don't need outstanding quarterback play to get to that 9-10 win plateau. Give me a guy that won't turn the ball over, that gets us in the right play, that, we're running the football well again. And who knows if we can get just enough out of the passing game, we should be right there again. So I share your optimism. I just think Josh Heupel is a fine coach, man. And I think that he sees that he's got the defense with Tim Banks. He's got it rolling on that side of the ball. Hopefully someday we do get back to that great offense that we saw in 2022. It just looks like, and I think you might have been able to do that if Nico had stuck around. Like, I think he would have taken a step and developed. I think he would have been better than last year. I don't know if he could have gotten to Hendon Hooker 2022 level, but like he would have been a better player just by virtue of his experience this year. But we'll never know. And so we're back in the kind of the same boat we were last year with an inexperienced QB. But I think
nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.